Come on, make up your mind. Night of passion became a nightmare. When the flood arrived, I realized what a fool I've been. You don't even know me, so how could you love me? Let alone care for this someone a stranger. Forget about the life that I dreamed of. Turn over, turn over, turn over. Waiting, anticipating. Come on, make up your mind. Repercussions and consequences. Should've known better. Wish I never met her. True to the letter, I'll never forget her. Waiting, anticipating. Come on, make up your mind.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday and tonight's Gremlin report. I mean, it was all kicking off. It was going reasonably okay for the last maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and then for some reason, I mean, my lights started going funny and then one of the hard drives wasn't being read properly, so I had to restart the software. And for some reason, I don't know why, but the last cover that we voted for, or you voted for to watch, which was still haven't found what I'm looking for, if I remember correctly, trying to get that to play. For some reason, it just doesn't want to play. So that is a gremlin that I'm going to have to sort out for another day. So I was going to play that as the cover for tonight, but because it's not working and I couldn't get it working up until literally the start of the live stream, I didn't want to start pulling out hard drives and doing all that kind of stuff. I thought, let's just do the live stream, and everything seems to be working at the moment. At least it seems to be fine. Things have loaded up. So yeah, we will keep on going with the live stream, and we'll pick maybe a cover video from the other requests, because I was clicking on all of the other ones pretty much, and they all started to play. So it seems like that's going to be the way forward for tonight. So let's have a little look down the list, and I can see that we've got Parisian Walkways in there. Selena says, in my dreams. Okay, right, well, let's just go for those two. So Parisian Walkways, obviously now having to find those videos is going to be a little bit trickier, or tricky later on. Well, yeah, trickier than normal, but later on I'm going to have to try and find them live, and we'll see how I get on with that. So I'm going to write vote for tonight's cover video, exclamation mark, with no typing mistakes so far. What did I just say? In my dreams and Parisian walkways. Hopefully I've spelt that correctly. It looks like it's all right. Right, so the vote is now going through the live chat room, and I'm just looking at it because it's appeared just to check that I have written everything correctly, and I think I have, but now it's disappeared. So yeah, if you guys want to start clicking on whichever one of those covers you want to see tonight, and I don't know whether I should click on those both now to make sure that they both work, if I can even find them. This is always the problem. When I set it up, I've found Parisian Walkways. Okay, Parisian Walkways isn't working, which is great. And what was the other one? In My Dreams, but where would that be? Here? Okay, so it looks like we're going to be having In My Dreams later on. So everybody in the live chat room, if you can all vote for In My Dreams, then later on in the live stream I can pretend that just won as the cover for tonight. Not that it's the only one that works out of those two. So anyway, I'm going to have to try and sort that out. And I did try and do what I normally do, which is show link in Explorer, which shows you exactly the path file, or the path to the file name that it then plays. But that option has disappeared, so I don't even have a way of finding out why it's not reading it from its normal location. But anyway, hello guys, thank you for joining me. A long introduction to tonight's live stream. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place, or at least they make everything possible as we can do it on the live streams, especially when we have gremlins and everything else on the channel, the analysis videos, all the cover videos, all that kind of stuff. So a huge shout out to these lovely people at the bottom of the screen. I always say they are the foundation of everything that I do, and it just continues to be the case from day one. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all of your support. And we do have a likes goal for tonight. I can't remember what it was at 370. There you go, it's on screen now. And it is Phil Jam number 57. I remember changing that before everything went crazy. I did manage to at least to get that one thing working. So there we go. 370 is what we're aiming for, and something that I will have to do while talking is set up the screen captures, because obviously those have gone a little bit haywire as well. So let me click on that. Oh, the other thing that I need to try and do, and the screen captures are the screen capture seems to be a little bit wonky tonight, but let's have a look at the lycometer. It displays fine. So yeah, what I'm seeing on screen, it's displaying probably double the size that I can see on the screen. So we're just going to have to roll with that. It's going to be one of these nights. So there we go, 182 likes so far. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. It's weird because the screen capture, if I move it around, let's see what happens here. If I move it, yeah, so if I move it, you can see that that box that I'm moving is going across the likes. But on the screen, the likes is filling the full box, whereas it's not on what I'm actually telling it to capture. So yeah, its measurements are all over the place, but it seems to be working, so we'll keep that going. So yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be fantastic. It'd be much appreciated as well to get ourselves closer to that likes goal of 370. And if we do hit that goal, then we will have Phil Jam number 57 for tonight. So we are going to have the cover later on, which is maybe In My Dreams. It could be Parisian Walkways in a way, but this is the good thing, that everyone who tunes in early will know that we are going to be watching In My Dreams later on. We're just pretending it's a bit of a farce that it's between two of those songs, between Parisian Walkways and In My Dreams, but it looks like you guys are doing me a big favour here by clicking on In My Dreams, so thank you guys for that. We're going to have a bit of a backlog of cover videos that we haven't seen yet if this continues, so we've definitely still haven't found what I'm looking for, and hopefully tonight we'll just jump into In My Dreams. So, right, at this point I do say that you don't have to donate during these live streams or at any time. Just watching is fantastic. Maybe leaving a thumbs up, introducing yourself in that live chat room so that we'll get to know each other. That's how it all works. And let me get up on screen that donations tab just to let you know that if you can't resist donating, between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link in the description below. So there you go. That's probably the best that I've said that. And oh look, we've got one one string longer than another. That's, I don't know why that gets on my nerves when I see out of the corner of my eye the feed from the live stream. This is another thing. I have to keep an eye on the live feed rather than the software that I look at to make sure that we don't have any loading symbols and all that kind of stuff, because I think that was happening last time. But every time I looked at the live feed on the last live stream, it was fine. So when I was looking away, it was then loading. I'd look back, it would be fine. Look away, it would be loading. So that's just the luck of the draw, but I keep an eye on that. I think everything's okay at the moment, and I can see the comments going through. So hello to you guys in that live chat room. We have Laurie and Bob and Ginny. Laura's in there as well. Bernadine, Cindy, Deborah, Anna, Charlie again, Bob, Billy, Chanter of the North, Paul, Pamela, 123, Rockchild, Debbie R, Split Image 137, Dawn, Pam, K36, Billy again, Kevin, Cindy, Karen's in there, Lucy, Silver Ball as well, and Jonathan. Hello! And that was a little bit easier for me to read out because we're a little bit more into the live stream. Usually I try and rattle off some of the usernames at the beginning, but it always goes too quickly for me to be able to do it. So that was a nice delay, a strategic delay on my part there to get more names out. So yes, we're having as close to a normal live stream as possible, hoping that everything works. But we are not having a picture corner, no pictures for tonight, so there's a little bit extra time to maybe look at other things, maybe have a fill tune, maybe have a riff of the week. Having said that, again, that's going to be another screen capture thing. And, oh, I know maybe why the screen capture's gone a little bit wonky, is because it's in a, oh, I shouldn't have done that. This, yeah, so, oh, right, okay, hang on, let me drag that over there, this up to here, make that like that. Okay, right. So what I had done is, in order to get the likes up on screen, oh no, this is backfiring now. Okay, the likes are back on screen, albeit a little bit too small. So let me get that right. The likes are on screen and we can see it, which is fine. I was using the screen capture that I use for the riff of the week and any other things like picture corner, but we're not going to be having that tonight. I was using that screen capture instead of the screen capture that I used for the likeometer. The only problem was that they've both been reset, so I have to resize the amount, the pixel value in order to make it the right size so that it shows on screen. It's all technical stuff, but now I have. I mean, that would have tripped me up later on for the riff of the week, so I'm glad that I've just sorted that out. So, anyway, as I say, you don't have to donate, but I can see there have been a couple of donations already in the super chat window, so thank you guys for those. And Val has donated £10. Thank you, Val. That is a straight up donation. And Simon has donated £5 as well, so thank you for that, Simon. And the message is, if those strings bother you being different lengths, you must have OC/DC. So thank you for that, Simon. And yes, the OCDC, I suppose that could have been, I mean, maybe the problem with that band is that you would potentially, I mean, a good tribute band, but you'd potentially never play because you have to, like some people who have obsessive compulsive disorder just have to maybe close. I saw somebody had to open and close a door maybe 10 or 20 times every time they went through a door, and it's something, it's a compulsion, so they can't stop doing it. And other people that have that compulsion of cleaning all the time, and yeah, I don't consider myself having any obsessive compulsive things, just things that annoy me a little bit, because I mean, if I hadn't have noticed, but then again, if I hadn't have noticed that, I wouldn't have known to then move it. So yeah, I don't think I'm obsessive compulsive. There's nothing really that I do that I think, oh, I've got to do this, otherwise I'm not going to be able to get on with my day. I'm just thinking of things that that are just contradicting what I'm saying, because sometimes I think, I don't know whether this is a normal thing. Sometimes if I'm going to have the rare occasion of maybe starting to watch a film or doing something like that, I like to clean the room first before I watch a film, because then I'm more relaxed. And I don't think that's a compulsion thing. It's just liking things to be clean. So like if I walk into a room and everything's where it's supposed to be and it's clean, then I get a relaxed feeling. Whereas when I walk into a room and things are out of place, it's I have to then move them into place. But sometimes I'm too busy to clean a room, so it's something that sticks in the back of your mind. You think, right, I've got to do that before I can move on. And this is something that obviously I've done recently, watching Skinwalker Ranch. That's one of the shows that I can have on, and it kind of works with what I do, doing emails and stuff. I can have it on in the background. And there's another show that follows on from it's called here in the UK, The Curse of Skinwalker Ranch, and I think in the USA it's called The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch or something like that. But then there's a show after it called Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, and I don't know what that's called in the USA, but it's the same thing, and it's two guys that go away to different places that are kind of like Skinwalker Ranch, and they go away and then they report back to the guys from Skinwalker Ranch. But that show, I remember when I first started watching the Skinwalker Ranch show, they were really tentative and they didn't really want to disturb the ground, because then they weren't sure what would happen and they might get, some kind of reaction, and they'd been warned about doing it. But I think on the first show of Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, they went to this place where they thought there might be some kind of tunnel system underground. So their approach was to put dynamite in the ground and blow it all up. So they weren't quite as scared or bothered about maybe poking the hornet's nest, as they say on that show quite a lot. So I thought, well, yeah, that's probably what I'd do. If there was anything rumoured to be underground, I would just blow it up and see what's under there. I'm not sure whether that would work for the Mesa and what they're trying to find in there, and I've said before, that would be my focus. And if you haven't seen The Curse of Skinwalker Ranch, then you won't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's basically about trying to find anomalies, or there are anomalies, and it's trying to figure them out, like what they are, because they're getting to the point where scientists are starting to conclude that there's something weird going on, and it might be a portal on Earth. And I can already hear people maybe who, I don't know, have the old view of UFOs and all that kind of stuff. They might be laughing, thinking, oh, it's so ridiculous, talking about portals. But these are scientists who are doing the tests and experiments, and they're starting to lean in that direction, because they set off a rocket and then it looked like it just exploded in midair. But when they looked at the footage on a high-speed camera, it looks like there is some kind of anomaly, as they call it, above where they're filming, and the rocket hits that and then gets destroyed and goes off to the side. So whatever is there that the eye can't see, it is there because the rocket hit it. So yeah, anyway, really interesting stuff. I find it all very interesting. And yeah, this other show, it seems like they're just not as bothered about potentially aliens coming down and saying, what are you up to? They're just doing loads of tests, and they're finding loads of really weird stuff. Like they're trying to do an experiment, and this guy's drone. No, they said there's been reports of drones going into this area, so kind of near some mountains, and they then come back and record an error, and it says military airspace, something like that. So yeah, it gets sent back to them, and that was like a rumour. So they thought, well, let's do a test, and they got a guy with his drone to go up there, and they sent it out, and of course it started coming back to them. And then they said there's nothing on the map here to say that this is a military base or anything. And then obviously there are rumours that over the last however many years there's been a military base there who have been studying aliens and all that kind of stuff. It's all top secret. But yeah, I can't explain a whole 3 or 4 series of that show, and you're gonna have to go and watch it yourself. But yeah, if you are interested in that kind of stuff, even if you're not interested. I think it is interesting, the amount of stuff that the scientists are finding out. It's not just people who have questionable stories and you think, well, oh, they're obviously making this up for attention. It's actually doing scientific tests and then retesting and seeing the results they get. Anyway, let's move on from aliens, but that's just something that I like to have in the background while I'm watching, obviously before or after I've cleaned the room to make sure that I can relax. So anyway, thank you for that, Simon, and mentioning OCD or OCDC. We've had another donation that's come through over on PayPal, and this is Cindy, who donated £75. So thank you for that, Cindy. And that was a straight up donation at 1:57 in the afternoon on Thursday. So thank you for that. Let me just move on, because there has been another donation, and this came through from Nicole. This afternoon at 26 minutes past 12. So thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello Phil, my brother bought a guitar, a Gibson Les Paul Studio, beautiful instrument. Do you like this sound, Phil? It is second hand. Good weekend, love and rock. So thank you for that, Nicole. And I've never owned a Les Paul myself, and it's not a guitar that I don't know, I've never really been attracted to, but not for any other reason than the people that I listen to, mostly like Jimi Hendrix and, probably Eric Clapton as well. I was just pushed into that direction of Fender Strats, especially, and that's just the guitar that I liked the look of and wanted, and then I went from there to Ibanez guitars. So yeah, that's once I started getting into kind of the hard rock sound and playing things a little bit faster and needing a little bit more of an aggressive sound for live performances. So I started using my Ibanez Geo, but then I did kit out my Fender Strat with effectively a humbucker, like a twin blade pickup, which is just like turning a single coil slot into a humbucker sound or tone that you can get from it just from that single coil, because humbuckers normally need twice the space. So it's a way of getting that on my Fender Strat because I wanted to have that heavier sound for my music. But yeah, in terms of a Les Paul, I haven't owned one, but then again, having said that, I do listen and did listen to a lot of players when I was learning to play that did play Les Pauls. It's just something that I didn't really get into, and I think maybe Slash, and I certainly remember seeing that Slash, I mean, as soon as Guns N' Roses came out and Slash was on stage and playing a Les Paul and having it kind of really low slung, having his strap really loose, so it's really it's almost like round by his kneecaps, but the way that he played, because he now gave it a bit of an image lift. So yeah, Les Pauls then suddenly became a guitar that everybody wanted, and certainly I'm sure throughout the 80s there was just a huge increase in the amount of Les Pauls that were sold. But yeah, I mean, loads of guitars, Gary Moore as well, guys that played Les Pauls. I didn't have a Les Paul for any reason really other than just I liked Fender Strats. I liked the look of them. I liked the sound of, especially the way that obviously Jimi Hendrix could get the Strat to sound totally different to any other sound I'd heard. So I just gravitated towards that. But yeah, nothing against them. It's just that I haven't owned one or gone down that avenue. But thank you for that, Nicole. And Janice has donated £20. Thank you for that, Janice. And the message is, hello, Philip. I saw that you discussed Pegasus in the comments section of a recent video. Are you also into other creatures in Greek mythology? Thanks. So thank you for that. And I'm not sure this would have been a long discussion, but sometimes people ask me, how I came up with the name for the band, and I always say the same thing, that I just made it up. And because of the style of music that I play being hard rock, just for me, Wings of Pegasus sounded like an 80s kind of thing to be called as that kind of sound, like a hard rock band. with an 80s kind of vibe. I thought it would match quite well. And yeah, it's nothing to do with my interest in Greek mythology. And it is probably, the Wings part might have come from subconsciously being a fan of Winger, the band. So subconsciously that might have made its way in to the band name. But yeah, I just came up with that. And I don't really know anything about Greek mythology. I don't know, it's never really interested me because it's all made up. Or, you know, I don't... A lot of people are into it. And you get a lot of questions that refer to Greek mythology. And yeah, I understand that there was a huge part, and people did believe it, or you know, some people believed it and other people didn't believe it. But obviously, because it's mythology, we know that it didn't exist. Obviously, like flying horses didn't exist. But people are really into it, which means I've seen shows like quiz shows where the question is about Greek mythology. And this is just like a general knowledge quiz on TV. And I always think, why do they ask people questions about Greek mythology? And it's quite a standard thing to be tested on and for quizzes to include. But I think if it is mythology, if it's a made up story, then why aren't people regularly asked about Lord of the Rings and, you know, about Bilbo Baggins and people that are included with that, because it's a made up story. So yeah, it's something that I'm not particularly that into, but yeah, I understand that a lot of people are into it. But yeah, for me it's just, you know, stories and, you know, stories of gods and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm sure that it might have been something that people believed back in the day. But again, this is the other thing about belief. I mean, nobody gets to decide what one person can or can't believe. So you can believe whatever you want, whether that's in, you know, Greek mythology or gods. But I think the mythology is probably the clue that people have found that, yeah, flying horses and such things don't exist. So yeah, I don't know a lot about it. It's never really piqued my interest particularly, but Lord of the Rings did. So if there was a question that came up about Lord of the Rings in a quiz, I would have half a chance of at least getting that right. Or maybe I could say, if they asked me about Greek mythology, I'd say, can I substitute that question for Lord of the Rings, please? And answer a question on that instead. So, Paul has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, okay, everybody, let's have fun tonight and spike those likes. All y'all, great idea. And let's have a plug of the mug. If you want to get your hands on any merchandise, then click on the tray underneath this video. If you do have a tray underneath this video. If you don't, then there's a link in the description below that will take you through to the spring.com store. You can get your hands on any of the merchandise, the caps, the tumblers, the bucket hats, the hoodies, the t-shirts, and, oh, did I say tumblers? And mugs, of course. But anyway, I always try to name the merchandise that is available, but I always think I forget something. You can get your hands on anything that you want in the way that I have just indicated to you. So let's have a look at the likeometer. 278, 279 as I say that, which means we are looking for 91. Is that right? Maybe. I'm not sure whether it is, but if it goes to, okay, right, so now we're looking for 90, I think. I don't know why my brain is questioning these numbers, but I'm going to say that we're looking for 90 and now 89 more thumbs up. So yeah, if you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be massively appreciated. It helps this live stream to get out there, but also for the channel to grow on the whole. So back to the donations in that PayPal window. Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil. Are there any crossover genres or artists that merge your favourite genre with another in an interesting way? So thank you for that, Tammy. And I mean, when I listen to music, I never really think genres. I don't think, oh, I'm now listening to, you know, country music or, you know, bluegrass or rock or metal or jazz fusion. I'm never thinking about that when I'm listening to music, and I don't really think about that at all, apart from maybe in analysis videos. So for me, I just listen to it, and if I like it, then I like it, and if it's something that I'm not going to be listening to in my free time, then I listen to what's going on in this particular sound that I'm hearing, whether it be, you know, a heavier band or, you know, a lighter sounding band. Again, it's all to do with kind of shades of sounds. And, you know, I mean, when we were talking about, you know, pop music, you know, popular music in the pop charts, there's sometimes, you know, music that's popular that isn't necessarily or wouldn't necessarily be classed as pop music. And, you know, the same with so many bands that have a particular sound, but, you know, like great singers with great voices. You know, Karen Carpenter, for example, could sing loads of different songs, loads of different styles of songs, but it doesn't mean that she was just a particular genre singer. It means that she's just great at music. This is, I think, how I view great bands, is that they're just great at music, full stop. And obviously when magazines and the media are trying to pigeonhole a particular artist, they call them a rock singer, or a jazz artist, or, you know, a country artist. They call them that. But, you know, there have been loads of country artists, for example, who've had crossover success, who have songs that do really well in the mainstream charts as well as the country charts. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't even, because I don't think of genres, I've never really thought about a band, oh, they're a really good band in that genre and I like the way that they've now crossed into another genre. I just think, oh, it's a great band. And yeah, I don't tend to pigeonhole any sound, really. That's a great thing about music and art. You can just do it exactly how you want to do it, and it is what it is. And I think sometimes pigeonholing bands is a bad idea anyway, because every band is unique and everyone has, you know, subtle differences, whether it be, you know, full bands or solo artists or singers, guitarists. This is the thing, that everybody can produce their own sound and put their own personality into their sound. So yeah, it's impossible that you get loads of different bands that all of the singers sound exactly the same as that one particular voice, and all of the lead guitarists sound exactly the same as each lead guitarist. So not something that I've kind of thought about previously, but thank you for that, Tammy. And Debbie has donated £10. Thank you for that, Debbie. Messages. Hi Phil, what are some of the benefits you like most about working for yourself? You are awesome. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And I mean, the benefits, I would say, is just being able to do it. That's a huge benefit, because it's what I've always wanted to do. And, you know, even kind of teaching guitar, even though that's, you know, great and something that I do enjoy doing, again, when you're having to teach a lot in order to make a certain amount of money to then pay bills and pay the rent and do all that kind of stuff, then yeah, it can be a little bit more difficult. Like I've said about, you know, teaching 12 or 13 students in a row and not having a break and doing all that kind of stuff to try and make as much money as possible to make sure that I could, you know, pay the bill and pay rent, you know, all that kind of stuff, or pay the bills and pay rent. So yeah, it's a little bit more stressful in that way, but I think there's, you know, pros and cons to that. I mean, teaching guitar is a bit different, because once I've taught those people, then when I went home I had to start planning the next day's lessons. So yeah, it was pretty full on. But, you know, when you work for yourself, especially in this kind of environment, you know, is you are doing it all the time. It's literally 24/7, and yeah, you don't ever really get a day off. I mean, when I say a day off, I mean a day of just not doing anything to do with everything. Because even in my admin days, they are exactly like they sound. The only days that I have away from doing either YouTube videos or live streams are the admin days, which are a Monday and a Thursday. But on the admin days, it means that I'm doing the admin. So I'm doing the emails, catching up with everything. And recently, I'm doing my taxes and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, once you've finished your admin day, it's then getting up and getting into the next day's video. And yeah, it is 24/7. And quick bit of news on that. When I say on that, just talking about messages. And the video with Shirley that I did mention, I mentioned actually in a live stream probably many weeks ago when I went down to watch Shirley with Alfie Bow in London at the London Palladium, and I said that we would be doing a video together at the beginning of November. I think I said that, and I've totally lost track of time, and I've realised today that it's the 11th of November. So yeah, I was chatting with Shirley today just on Instagram, and we're going to be doing something at the end of the month. So that's a quick update on that particular story or state of affairs. So that's going to be happening at the end of the month. We'll get that done, get that organised. But this is what I mean, that when you're just doing something all the time, you totally lose track of where you are in the year, and already it's the 11th of November. So yeah, I always kind of lose track and then realise that, oh yeah, we're supposed to be doing that video, so we will be doing that at the end of the month. Little update for you there. But that's kind of the plus and the negative of working for yourself, is that you are now in control of having to make enough money to pay the bills and pay your rent and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's, I'd say probably, I don't know, more pressure, because when you're working on behalf of a business, like when I was teaching guitar and I worked on behalf of a shop, they were getting students, so it means that you don't have to go out and find students. When I was then doing it privately, obviously then you have to go and find students potentially if you have people that kind of are moving or can't do it anymore. So yeah, it's probably a good intro to then doing all of this kind of stuff yourself, teaching guitar privately, because that's something that you have to work out quite a lot as well. But yeah, I think it's a huge positive, just in the way that I can do it full stop, and it's something that I mean that's what I've always worked towards. Like I say on these live streams, when I get asked and people say, oh, what do you want to achieve and all that kind of stuff, well, I've got to the point where I am doing things full time that I want to do, and that was really all my only ever goal. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens in the future, but certainly what I'm doing is opening lots of doors for future things and projects and events and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, thank you for that, Debbie. And there's been another donation that's come in from Karen for £3.92. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil. Tiny Tim said in an interview, originality is the key to success. Do you think there's any truth to this? Speaking of flying, it looks like your fringe has grown wings. Laugh out loud. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, it's a minor miracle tonight that I can see, because I have been a little bit lax with the haircuts and I totally didn't notice how long my fringe was. So now it's kind of going into a centre parting, and it's got to the point of no return where the hair is so long that it parts in the centre, and there's nothing that anyone, not me, not anyone in the world can do about it. Even if I comb it over, it then starts to go back to where it was. As you saw in the last live stream when I was wearing a hat, it still curls, has the strength to curl under the weight of a hat. So yeah, this, I mean, there's bits of curling. Oh no, so on the other side here, it's literally curling upwards. So I do have a haircut booked in for next Tuesday. So yeah, hopefully that'll be that'll be completed, and completed to a point where I can actually see. So yeah, my hair is a lot longer than it should be at the moment, but thankfully I can just about see. I'm having to kind of move it out of my eyes a little bit, but yeah, the centre parting has kind of helped with that situation. And yes, originality, I would say, is the key to success, because yeah, if you do something that you enjoy and you do it your own way, then you're going to be enjoying it, and that's the most important thing. I think to be successful, you've got to have the durability and the motivation to keep on doing what you believe in. I think that if somebody is trying to succeed in something that they aren't fully 100% into, then at some point they will give up because they don't have that drive that they kind of really want to do something. And I think that the people that do make it to the top of whatever they choose to do, they've got a determination and a never say die attitude and all that kind of stuff. More often than not, it means that other parts of their life have been sacrificed in order to get to that point, but more often than not, that's what it takes. You have to dedicate your life to something in order to reach the top in it, whatever it is that you're choosing to try and succeed in. Because I always see it as, if somebody is really trying to succeed and be the best at something, or beat their competitors at a particular either skill or job that they might be going for, if they're a little bit lazy, there are other people who aren't lazy, who will work every single day that they can, and every single minute of every single day that they can, to achieve success. So anyone that doesn't do that, it's effectively, for me, admitting defeat. That you can't expect to do something kind of half and half, or just concentrate on something a little bit and then hope that you get a break. You've got to just do it full time, all the time, every single second that you can. Dedicate to it. Then that's what you need to do. And just if you do that, then you can at least say to yourself, well, I literally tried everything. I couldn't have tried any harder in my life thus far to try and get to where I wanted to be. So I think originality is a huge part of that, because if you believe in what you're doing, then it's a lot easier to keep doing it day after day, minute after minute, hour after hour, because you want to, you've got that drive to succeed. And it's not kind of, I don't feel like doing it today. And even when you do really want to do something, you do sometimes feel like that you feel, I need a bit of a break, or I don't feel like doing it today. But then again, you think, well, somebody else might feel like that, but they will keep doing it. And that's where they might overtake you and all that kind of stuff. I think I probably get that mindset from, having played sports when I was younger at quite a high level, and that edge that you're always looking to beat your competitors in any way, shape or form. So you're always looking for an edge. And if you're exercising, or if you're practicing, if you're working out, and if I'm going for a run when they're a little bit lazier and they can't be bothered to go for a run, it means that final 2% in performance I will have and they will not. So therefore I will succeed where they will fail. So it's a definite mindset, but I think that comes from my sports background as a kid. So I say as a kid, as a teenager, and into my very early 20s as well. So thank you for that, Karen. And Carl has donated £6.66. So thank you for that, Carl, and that is a straight up donation. And Ghislaine has donated £11.32. Thank you for that, Ghislaine. The message is, hello Phil, I'm happy to tell you I have no colon cancer. I will enjoy you for the years to come. Rock on. So thank you for that, Ghislaine. And great to hear the good news. And we'll have many more live streams. And this is the thing, as you guys know, I don't miss a live stream. So I will always be here, pretty much. I don't know, if we could time travel, maybe we go 10 years into the future, and at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night and a Tuesday night, I'll probably still be live streaming, even if lots of other things have happened. I don't know what those will be, but I'll always be here. But thank you for that, Ghislaine. And I can see that Marsha's donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Marsha. This is in the super chat window, and the message is, hi Phil, I want a signed guitar by the band Styx. I can't wait to jam. So bit of good luck there. Thank you, Marsha, for letting me know that. And Rammers has donated $10 as well. And it says, if Stevie Ray Vaughan been watching his videos lately, did not pass away, do you think his skill would keep increasing? Or do you think guitar skills can ever be mastered? So thank you for that. And yeah, I think, well, guitar is such a unique instrument because there are so many different ways of playing it. So I think, yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan would have definitely, improved or kept on playing the way that he played, but creating more music. He might have got into, different styles of playing, maybe. But the thing about guitar is, guitarists tend to have a particular way they play, and this is the great thing about guitarists, is that some concentrate on the blues or jazz or different techniques that encompass that, and some might play arpeggios, for example, and get into sweep picking, alternate picking, just flat picking. Some play fingerstyle, some play slide, some play acoustically, for example. But then again, even on electric guitars with 2-finger tapping, some do 4-finger tapping, 5 fingers, 6 fingers, 7 fingers, 8 fingers, 10 fingers, even though technically that's with thumbs as well. So again, that's a totally different style of playing. So what tends to happen is guitarists, I don't think anyone has ever mastered everything, because you literally haven't got enough time in your life to do that. And when I say everything, I mean all of those techniques and all of those styles of playing that I've just spoken about, having a guitarist who can do all of those things. And generally when you start to look at guys, like Mike Dawes, who's been on the channel before, the way that he plays with, 2-finger tapping on acoustic guitar and using the body of the guitar as effectively a percussive instrument, or as percussion, being able to do all of that, there's a huge amount of practice that's gone into that, almost a lifetime. There might be other styles and other things that I'm sure that Mike has played, coming from that kind of heavier music background of alternate picking and sweep picking and all that, but then focusing on getting that particular style of playing up to the level that he has, and other players that concentrate on that style. Again, it's deciding to do that, and I don't think any guitarist has, or I don't think anybody has the time in a lifetime to perfect everything. And when I say that, another skill is singing, and I mentioned this about sometimes guitarists who are at the top level in a particular way of playing the guitar technically, they haven't spent a lot of time on their voice and they just play the guitar, and it might not be an artistic choice that they want to start singing. So if you are an artist who wants to sing, you're going to have to factor that into your guitar playing, because you can't now practice to sing and spend the same amount of time you used to practice playing guitar, because you're going to need to work at your voice a couple of hours a day and do that for multiple years in order to get to a particular level, especially if you can't sing to begin with. So yeah, you've got to factor that in. Stevie Ray Vaughan, of course, could sing as well, so he had that. So I think he would have improved, but I don't think he would have suddenly started playing acoustic guitar and do maybe 10-finger tapping on it. He would have still been playing the blues and still been expressing himself that way, because that's very much his sound and what it was rooted in, and the music that spoke to him. So that's just the way of it, really. And there are loads of guitarists who are just at the top level of playing in a particular way, and some have got up to a level where Tommy Emmanuel, for example, who Mike actually tours with quite regularly, he's got to a point where he's mastered loads of techniques on acoustic guitar, but also on electric guitar. And again, I'd say, I don't know, it's difficult to say, but I'd say that he's one of the guys who can play in so many different styles that he doesn't do 10-finger tapping on acoustic guitar or electric guitar, but he's got really close with lots of different techniques, with fingerstyle and with, you know, alternate picking and, you know, hybrid picking and lots of that kind of stuff. But I mean, he will say himself that he has literally spent his whole life practicing the guitar. And I remember seeing an interview with him, and somebody said, or he said that somebody asked him what he did, and he said, I play the guitar. And then the person said, oh yeah, but what else do you do? And then Tommy said, no, I play the guitar literally all the time. And he was on a flight at the time that he was being asked. So after he'd been asked, he said, once I get off the plane, I will get my guitar and I will start playing it. And that is my life. That's what I do. I play the guitar. So when I say about him, you know, playing for a lifetime, that is how much you have to play to try and get to a top level at as many techniques as you can do on acoustic guitar. And then, you know, the other thing is that Tommy does sing, and, you know, some people say, oh yeah, but he's not a singer. He hasn't trained his voice. You know, he's not a classically trained singer, because of course training your voice to that level would mean time away from playing the guitar. And there are some guitarists who have the ability to sing and have a natural ability to sing and haven't had to train their voice. So yeah, they're in that lucky situation where they can spend literally as much time as humanly possible working at their playing, because they've got a natural ability for singing. But it still doesn't mean that their voice is trained. So yeah, they'll kind of sing to a level, but then yeah, singing to a level that then sounds trained is obviously a whole nother ball game. But anyway, thank you for that, Rammers. And I mean, that whole point of, you know, learning to play in a particular style and all that kind of stuff, it's another point that just speaks of originality, that everyone will have a particular style that they prefer to play and something that speaks to them. And this is why even top players, when somebody else plays the guitar, there'll be things that there'll be things that I can play that another top player or somebody who's very well known might not be able to play, and there'll be things that they can play that I can't play. And it's just a famous expression, or something at least amongst guitarists, that they say use it or lose it, which basically says or points to the fact that if you can play a particular show-off piece, you know, and let's take Eruption as an example, which I did a cover of on my channel, that you can work out that whole piece to play, but after a while you will forget it because you're not constantly doing it, you're not updating it, you're not practicing it every day. So that's what is meant by use it or lose it. Every guitarist can work something, or guitarists who are playing at a particular level can work out how to play something that sounds very fancy, and you know, it might have two hand taps in there, you know, 5, 6, 7 fingers going on. And I know this because I've taught students to play acoustic guitar with, you know, striking the body of the guitar and, you know, tapping on chords with the right hand. But that was just for teaching. I don't really get anything out of that style of playing myself, so I haven't practiced that. And once I've learnt the piece, I just learn it to teach it, and once I've done with that particular piece, I forget it. And because it doesn't really do anything for me, I don't go back and start learning two-finger tapping on acoustic guitar again. So I might have some muscle memory still left over from doing it, but yeah, in that case I have lost that. Like, I don't use it because I don't want to as an artist. So there'll be things that some players can play that other players can't play, but it's because of what you choose to do artistically. And it's something that people that maybe don't play, they don't understand. And sometimes, I mean, not regularly, but occasionally you'll get a troll on the channel who, when I'm looking at a particular artist, they'll say, yeah, why don't you try and play this then? And I mean, my answer is always, because I want to spend my time doing something that I get something out of artistically. So there's no point, like, it would be like me saying to the person that I'm talking about in the video that I'm analysing, it would be like saying to them, yeah, why don't you learn my solo from this song that I've done? You know, the person in the video will say, well, because I want to do what I'm doing, you know, which is the standard answer for every guitarist, that you want to do what you're doing. If you are an artist, if you want to play a particular way, You don't want to just spend time working somebody else's solo out so you can say, oh look, there you go, I did it. You know, it's been a waste of your artistic, creation, and yeah, I don't think there's any artist who would do that, who would work out somebody else's solos, day after day, night after night, just to show that you can do it. Just play your own solo, and then if they want to work out your solo, then great. But yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me. So it always kind of makes me chuckle a little bit when people say, "Yeah, why don't you play that?" And some of the time, it's stuff that I can play. I know that I've got all the muscle memory, especially with tapping on the guitar, and I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 finger tapping on the guitar before. Not that I'm into really fast playing, but it's just muscle memory that I have worked out, and I do like to play that kind of thing now and again. But anyway, I can see it's midnight already, so I will have to keep things moving. We actually are quite close to tonight's likes goal. We have 14 more likes, so if you guys can hit the thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. So not too far to go. Let's jump into In My Dreams for tonight's cover video. Thank you guys for voting for this as tonight's cover, given the option that we did have Parisian walkways as well. It's like nod, 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 wink, wink, not so much as a wink to a blind man. Is that something? I think that it's obviously something. I think that is something from... Oh, I don't know what this is from. That's a saying that I've heard. And I think it's my dad that used to say that. And I'm trying to think. Maybe people in the comment section or the live chat room can let me know what that is from. I don't know whether it's from Life of Brian or not. It might be. It might not. You guys can let me know. Nod, nod, or wink, wink. Not so much as. I don't think the nod, nod, wink, wink is part of it actually. Not so much as a wink to a blind man. That's just a saying that's popped into my head from somewhere. So anyway, let's jump into this. And where did I click on it before? Obviously, I'm asking you guys. You guys don't know, but I think I found it. Fingers crossed. This is going to be it, and I'll see you after. Fingers crossed. Rock.
In my dreams, it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains. Toss and turn all night in the sheets, and I can't sleep. Night after night, I don't know what it means in my dreams. What can I say or do? You won't come back when you're through. Not realize too late that baby your love has turned away. In my dreams, it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains. In my dreams, you're still by me, just the way it used to be. Calling your name, but you're turning away. Please don't leave. Running in circles, waiting to see you in my dreams. What can I say or do? You won't come back when you're through. Not realize too late that baby your love has turned away. In my dreams, it's still the same. Your love
And there we have it. That was my version of In My Dreams by Dokken. So... Oh, something that I noticed is that some people were saying about the sound of the microphone or in the room was as if I was a little bit far away from the microphone, something like that. So this is, I mean, it's actually quite a good example for what I was trying to explain before about having the mic turned on at the amplifier behind me. It means that that mic is hearing my voice. And because there are two versions of my voice, it means it sounds like it's further away from this microphone. So I've now turned off the microphone behind me. So, I mean, obviously I can't hear the result of it, but theoretically it should now sound clearer because there's only one input picking up my voice. So there you go. Oh, and I can see 123 Rock Trial says now it is fine. So yeah, that's my theory behind sounds, or at least that's what a few live streams ago. And the reason that I was turning off the mic was for that very reason, that the microphone behind me would be picking up my voice. So yeah, I've turned it off, and it means that when I turn it on, obviously my voice will go a little bit weird again. But if we're doing the fill jam, then it's just for the fill jam, or maybe just for the end section of the live stream. I can see that we have hit the target for tonight. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. We are going to be having a fill jam in that case. And I can see that Simon donated £5. Again, thank you for that, Simon, in the super chat window. And it's a smiley face, or a winking smiley face. So thank you for that, Simon. And yes, so I am now going to be turning on the microphone, so it'll sound a little bit dodgy again. But first of all, let me just jump over to Patreon to see what we've got here. And Joe has bumped the list, which is good. I think he has anyway. Yeah, number 57. So, or maybe Gem with lots of sustain. Question mark, that's what Joe is saying. And the next one is 6 minutes in length. Oh, stop the advert, mute that, play that through, and we have a skip there, take it back to the beginning. Right, so we are, let's get the gem. We are at Nick Neblo's, or Nick Neblo's, this is stuck under my chair, channel, and this is 80s, and it's not with an apostrophe, it's 80s hard rock guitar backing track B minor. So that is what we're going to be playing along to, or attempting to, tonight. Let me just grab this down here because I might have a bit of wah in this. Oh, how long is this one? This is 6 minutes in length. Now, as for the levels, let me turn on the microphone. Microphone on. Zoom in. Oh. Is that zoomed in too? Oh no, zoom out. I was just going to say. Is it too far zoomed in? Because I'm supposed to zoom out. Right. Folded legs to get the guitar a little bit higher up. And as for the levels, again, not sure what's going to be happening here, but let's play this track, see what it's all about. I'm just gonna keep on playing and see what happens. I can't hear my controller off. Okay, sounds great, and then backing track is too loud. Some wah-wah going. Suddenly ended.
Step.
I was waiting for some kind of ending, and it just suddenly finished. So there we go. That was tonight's Phil Jam, and thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. The levels are a bit all over the place there, so yeah, it's a little bit difficult to keep everything, because some people said it was too loud, some people said it's too quiet, and I suppose it's very good practice playing over the top of something and you're not sure what the levels are like, because you're always thinking about, well, should I try and turn up my guitar a little bit? Should I try and so you're thinking about all of that while trying to throw lines together. So anyway, that was that 80s hard rock guitar backing track, B minor. And this is from Nick Niblo, the channel on YouTube, if you guys want to check it out and have a jam along to this yourself. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And I think my hair is getting more and more curly as the night progresses. But thankfully, it's the end of the live stream. I tell you, I'm going to turn off that microphone so things might clean up a little bit vocally on this mic. But yeah, I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night. And going to be live streaming on Tuesday night, of course, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So if you can join me then, check out your time zones on Google as to when 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time is compared to your time zone, and then you can figure it all out. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. If you are watching this on catch up, you can still do that. Really does help the channel out. And if you are a Facebook user, I haven't mentioned it in tonight's live stream, but you can head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Join in with that group. Maybe upload a picture of yourself with some merchandise, and then we can get you in picture corner on the live streams. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And I'm going to be here tomorrow night, so hopefully you guys can join me for that particular analysis video. As I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!